At first glance, Thor Ragnarok is a fun little romp about a good punching space muscle who must learn the value of not always be punching. It stars Cate Blanchett as alternate universe Galadriel, Tessa Thompson as biggest dick energy, and features a standout performance from Jeff Goldblum as Space Jeff Goldblum. Beyond said performances though, Thor Ragnarok is just another popcorn-guzzling chapter of the Marvel Cinematic Universe with no real substance to speak of. Is what I'd say if I was an idiot. Upon second, third, and all other subsequent glances, one is immediately struck by the reality of Thor Ragnarok as a radical SJW psyop with a clear political agenda. Stealthily tucked just beneath the surface of this film by director Taika Waititi, a man oft noted for his creative subtlety, is a biting takedown of Western post-colonial ideologies, or as they're referred to in the hallowed halls of academia, fucking neoliberalism.
The slaves have armed themselves.
Oh, I don't like that word.
Which mainframe?
No, why would I not like mainframe? No, the yes word, yes word.
Sorry, the prisoners with jobs have armed themselves.
Okay, that's better, that's better.
In this little exchange, Space Goldblum flexes his progressive ally chops while literally in the midst of organizing the slaughter of a small group of rebels. For him, the problem isn't the fact that he owns slaves or that he's about to have slaves murdered because they don't want to be slaves. The problem is that slave as a word has negative connotations, which makes him look less civilized and cultured to his peers. After all, a brute who fights on their own to claim power looks garish and desperate. Better for the silk-robed sophisticates of the universe to create the illusion that they've simply charmed their slaves into becoming slaves, and that the system at play is both fair, natural, and unchangeable.
You are the property of the Grand Master.
And look, Space Goldblum isn't a monster. I mean, yeah, he lets his prisoners with jobs fight for their freedom. Some of his champions get to live in lavish estates and become celebrities. Besides, look how much he's contributing to the community. All these people out here enjoying sports instead of committing crimes. And just all of this business. Come on, he's a job creator, a trendsetter. He's friggin' Space Jeff Goldblum. All right, like maybe it's not as good as it could be, but it's still better than the alternative, right? Of course, if anybody starts actually investigating alternatives, Space Goldblum is more than happy to have his partner Topaz wield the melt stick in retribution. See, he's the neoliberal good cop to Topaz's autocratic military bad cop. You'd rather capitulate to the neoliberal than the autocrat because the former smiles and calls you by your preferred pronouns and says, yes, you know, we do need more women prison guards, where the latter just sneers and murders you with a dull pocket knife. But this is a false dichotomy. There's no meaningful distinction between Topaz and Space Goldblum because neither can exist without the other. Neoliberalism thrives on appearing to serve the needs of the masses without actually serving those needs. But such optical tomfoolery can only last so long before the masses start building guillotines. Every Space Goldblum needs a no-nonsense Topaz to carry out state violence as a means of enforcing the stability of what is, functionally, an autocratic dictatorship.
Can't have a revolution without somebody to overthrow.
Space Goldblum may distance himself from the gruesome violence carried out on his watch. He may put Topaz in charge of organizing military operations and monitoring the civilian populace. But at the end of the day, it's still Space Goldblum wielding the melt stick. By the end of the film, Topaz is dead, and Space Goldblum is left to be eaten alive by his former subjects. So okay, what message are we meant to take away here? It's clear that Waititi wants us to be critical of the hypocrisy displayed by neoliberals and to ask ourselves whose needs are really served by the gesticulations of those in power. Then, once we've found the answer to that question, he encourages us to dissolve all governments, abolish all borders, convert to communism, eat the rich, and kill God. So much for the tolerant left. Oh, well, hello. Welcome to the post-video part of the video where I talk about the video. That was a very short one, right? It's 4 minutes, less than, more than, I don't know. I did that for a class. I made a video essay for a class, and they demanded that it be 4 minutes or less. That's pretty ridiculous. We got a tutorial. I shared this story already, didn't I? We got a tutorial that basically the person said nobody wants to watch a video more than, 5 minutes? That's silly. So I wasn't sure if I was going to release this particular video out into the wild because I kind of want to talk more about Thor Ragnarok because it's a pretty good movie. It's got a lot of subtext and text and hypertext. I don't know. It's a whole lot of text. Taika Waititi's a smart cookie. So there's a lot more that I want to say, and this video I think doesn't do a pretty good job of saying the things that I would like to say. The definition of neoliberalism in there isn't necessarily accurate because I didn't have time, because I value jokes more than I value actual correct information. Maybe don't come to me for your political commentary. But yeah, I decided I liked this one enough that I would throw it out here because it's probably going to be a few more weeks before the next video comes out. And it's a big one. It's going to be rough and wild, a bit of a hairy mess, that one. Yeah, it's going to be something else. I have bits and pieces of set that I've come up with for this video. This lighting situation is going to change pretty soon here because it is unstable as fuck. But it looks cool in the background, some shots. I don't know. So this video is short, but I figured it's a nice little bit of content to tide you over. It's a fun, lighthearted thing where I say fuck a couple of times. And yeah, it'll be a nice palate cleanser until, you palate. That's not right. A nice appetizer? No, it's not entirely right. I don't know. A thing that you eat to tide you over. I guess it is an appetizer. Until the big one comes, which will be coming in a few weeks at most. Well, I mean, it has to, right? It's got to come out in December. Because I'll be damned if I carry all this baggage with me through into 2019. It's going to be a new year, and I need to do new shit. So this video is going to get done one way or the other. I don't know. So, yeah. There's going to be a podcast soon between me and Maylitz where we talk about YouTube stuff. I went down to Texas actually and hung out with her at her place in Texas, and we recorded a podcast, and I think it's pretty good. I'm in the midst of editing it right now. That'll be out soonish, and I think that one's really fun and good, and maybe has some good information. I don't know. But yeah, eventually I'm going to do a much longer version of this video, and I probably won't use any of the stuff that I made here because this one, I started the script intending it to be like chapter 1 of whatever it is that I was going to say, but it is, otherwise it needs to be a closed loop, this 4-minute thing for this class. Like it's got to be its own sort of argument. So I basically just made it small and kind of ideologically insufficient, but there you go. There's that. There's going to be a longer version. So consider this like the pilot episode of a future video that's much longer about Thor Ragnarok, but certainly along the same lines. Oh, the Hulk fight is over. Wow. Wasn't expecting to talk that long. I should really be used to that by now, right? Okay. Bye.